Well, when you think about the word homeless, what comes to mind? Do you think about people who sleep on a bench or panhandle on the street corner? The homeless have many different faces. Last year, 38 young people were classified as homeless in St. John's. Well, tonight we'll take a look at the life of one of those people, Johnny Lynn Keynes from Fortune. She spoke with Here and Now's Megan McCabe about her struggles with homelessness and how she found hope.
You're 17, about to finish high school, tied to your family and your close-knit community. But anxiety and depression are taking over and you just can't cope. What do you do? For Johnny Lynn Keynes, you hop on a bus from Fortune to St. John's with nowhere to go.
Sometimes I don't know what's going on around me. Sometimes I don't know that I'm a human. And for me, like, when that happens, like, I need to go to the hospital. I need to, like, be brought back to reality.
Keynes was desperate, hoping the city's supports could save her. She came to St. John's for Choices for Youth, but it's been a long, rough 4 years. Now she says the organization saved her life, with daily sessions, a job here at Your Turn secondhand clothing shop, and her first stable home. It just meant leaving her family 4 hours away, a heart-wrenching decision she made with her mom.
It was very serious. I had to go back home. Mental health wasn't looked at the same as it is now. I decided on January 18th that I was going to leave, and the 19th I hopped on a bus and came in here to the homeless shelter. The shelter was a little bit crazy. It was hard for me to get used to a shelter because I was so connected to my family and I was living at home. And people at the shelter, like, they weren't connected to family, they didn't have any supports, they didn't have anything.
All of a sudden, she met people like her, sharing rooms with kids with serious mental health issues, struggling with addictions, shooting up in the bed next to her. Lost, like that one night in November.
It was probably one of the scariest moments of my life because I've never actually had been in a place where I didn't know where I was going to go. The shelters were full. My friends at the time couldn't help me out, and it was really scary.
There have been a lot of really scary moments for Keynes, including a year spent using drugs to dull her pain. She was 18.
That was probably one of the roughest times with mental health. It was just a cover-up, really. I needed something to get me through the day. I was addicted to Percocets, opiates. When I first got addicted, I was dating a guy at the time and he had a lot of money. He was prescribed these drugs, so it was really easily accessible.
Keynes is on a long road managing her mental illness, and she's already overcome so much: homelessness, addiction, being away from her family. But now, for the first time in almost 4 years, she has a stable home to call her own, and she invited me over for move-in day.
Definitely anxiety today because I'm going to be here by myself and it's going to be the first time out, so I don't have my roommates here to put me to bed. So yeah, it's going to be different.
But how do you feel now?
I'm excited, but it's definitely going to be something to work for and work on.
You think you can?
Oh yeah, I can do it, especially with the sports that I have now, and I'll be able to do it.
At 21, she's looking at that future, planning to finish high school, go to university, and become a counselor, because, as she says, experience is the best teacher. Megan McCabe, CBC News, St. John's.
Johnny Lynn Keynes says she would still be at home with her family in Fortune if Choices for Youth was there. She now relies on their services every day to manage her severe anxiety and depression. But she says the mental health support available near her hometown doesn't cut it.
and that's why she moved to St. John's. As for what services are available on the Burin Peninsula, Eastern Health has a team of 7 full-time staff based in Marystown. A psychologist, addiction counselor, youth outreach workers, social workers, and nurses. A nurse visits Grand Bank 1 day a week, and the addiction counselor goes there every 2 weeks.
It's so unfortunate that, you know, when somebody is looking for help, they're not familiar or not aware of the services that exist in their own area. And that's one thing we're hearing very clearly from the community, is that, you know, people aren't aware of our services. So that's something that we're looking at, and how do we better promote our services so that when people need them, they know how to find them.